What up, everyone? You are listening to Behind the Baller podcast. This is episode 13. My name is Ben Baller, not Ben Humble. Yo, what you hear right there in the background, that's my man at Lakey Inspired. Yeah, that shit is, man, he's so fresh, man. That shit is crazy. I'm so blessed to have this dude. And if you didn't know, this is a Dust Brothers production. That's my man Miles Davis, my man Jordan Winter. Yo, let's get right into it. Got an exciting episode. I got Korean billionaire Dan M.I. On Instagram, his name is Dan_M_I. He doesn't really like putting his government name out there and, like getting pictures taken of him and shit. And he's a fucking, I don't know, man. But again, then listen, I ain't made $1 billion. If I made $1 billion, maybe I'd be on some other shit. But I wanted to kind of discuss about a little something. I wanted to clarify something in the K-Town Hustler Series 2 on the last podcast. One of the messages of the whole body of a big part of that decade was I wanted you guys to understand that the overall message of, that time in my life was that I was in the music business, right? And I was like, just in that shit. Yeah, I was doing cool, but it took so long for me to leave the music business because I was so obsessed with the glam, the glitz, that lifestyle, And then I finally realized, I was like, yo, man, I'm just here treading water, and I'm getting lucky, and not necessarily getting lucky, but I got what it takes, but it's just fucking weird. This shit is just, I'm not fucking with it no more, It's like dating a fine ass, badass Instagram model, but she cheats on you and she only wants to spend your money, and you stay with her only because every time you guys go out, people are like, damn, look at that girl. Damn, you see that girl's ass? Oh shit. Yeah, man, fuck that. But like I said, I was successful, but I knew I wasn't going to become for real rich. I knew I was going to be a multi-millionaire, millionaire by working under somebody else in the music business. It just wasn't it wasn't for me. I'm just not a person to be in the office and work in cubicles and work under somebody. And I don't know, I needed more freedom. And I had to take the risk and shake. So I want to get right into it, but there's a couple things I want to talk about. Shane Gillis, the dude from Saturday Night Live, I guess he's just a comedian. He just got picked up along with the Asian guy. And listen, I know people have been talking about it and they've already beat it to death. And listen, man, I heard this shit and people want me to go out there and you know what, man? I've said this before, just with that cancel culture shit. I'm not with it, man. Yeah, he says some stupid shit. And should he have lost his job for it? I don't know, man. This is where, from what I heard, he lost his job because he didn't want to give out a better apology. Good for him. Fuck him too at the same time, right? You shouldn't have to censor comedians and, other people are defending hey, man, well, shit, when is racism, how is that even in comedy? Where the fuck have you been? Could you imagine Richard Pryor, Andrew Dice Clay? My favorite comedians, they wouldn't have lasted. It would just, it's a different fucking era, even Dave Chappelle or whatever. And Joe Coy does it in a different way. And it's offensive, but it's funny, and it's just very PG, and I checked out dude's page, checked out some of his videos and shit. He doesn't seem like a super malicious type of dude. He just seemed like a dumb fuck, period. And I don't think he should have lost his job, but there it is. And Andrew Yang had said some shit on Twitter, and he says something he's been called chink gook all his life, and it's just part of it, it's how you do, and the funny thing was, if Shane Gillis had used the N-word, it'd have been a different story. And it would have been a whole different thing. But then it brought out the point yeah, they have oppression and whatever, and not whatever, but I mean, there's oppression. There was a lot, that black folks had to deal with. But for some reason, Shane Gillis felt well, let me just pick on the Asians because, that's just the easy prey, right? Or, it's the easy one to pick on and make fun of. And I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents on it. Fuck, dude. I don't really want to talk about dude too much. Going back to Andrew Yang, though, trying to get him on the show. And that'd be kind of dope, man. I'm curious, I don't know. This election just looks like it's going to be a whole fucking shit show. And I don't know if I want to talk about it really too much. But this morning, my kid's school had a little conference, and this conference was about like safety and security and shit. And they want to spend $100,000 to build 8-foot fences instead of the 5 or 6 feet fences that are out there now. They want to hire an armed security guard, like a guy who carries a pistol gun. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, that shit is like, I mean, part of it scares me, but then at the same time, like, I'm like, this is fucked up. This is sad, you know? But I'm for it, you know, whatever I got to donate to keep my kids safe. You know, I want them to be safe. So just some weird ass shit, man. Being a parent is so crazy, man. It's just like, but it's so dope right now. Every day, my London is just like, he's so fucking smart, and he's just picking up shit. So, and just having these conversations with him, and Ryder, and damn, Kaya's growing up so fucking fast. She wants to wear makeup, and she wears a dress every day, and just, this shit is so crazy to me on a regular basis, man. I hate leaving town, and you know, I got to, because I also got to pay for everything, you know, to make sure that everyone is good, and you know, hold down my wife because she takes care of the kids, and this is just fucking crazy. Oh yeah, one last thing, man. You know, some people hit me up on the DMs, and first of all, I appreciate you guys listening to 2 hours and 36 minutes of the last podcast, and it's a lot. And we start charting, and the shit's doing very well, and I appreciate your feedback. Some of these people didn't know who the fuck Saphir was when I mentioned the Golden State Project, Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors didn't happen because the name was obviously a basketball team, so they stopped that shit. So they called themselves the Golden State Project. Now it was Saphir, Exhibit, and Razkaz. Everyone's heard of Exhibit. Some people have heard of Razkaz. If you never heard of Saphir, Saphir was a severe, real Bay Area motherfucking rapper. He's part of the Hieroglyphics. And then he had a falling out of some shit. And I love Saphir. That motherfucker was crazy. But if you ever watched the movie, Menace to Society, Saphir was Harold's cousin, the baller who had the BMW that got killed in the drive-by. Right in the early scenes of the movie, he got that convertible BMW, and he's like, "Break yourself, motherfucker!" And he was like, "Nah, fuck that shit, Kane. I ain't going out like no sucker." That's Saphir. So anyway, that's my dog. I don't know. I just wanted to clear that up. Listen, man, let's get into this Dan MI episode. I think you guys are gonna like it a lot. Yo, Miles, you already know. Hit me one time. Yo, man, so we got a very special guest on this episode of Behind the Baller. And, yo, man, everyone welcome Dan. What's up, Dan?
What's up, man?
Actually, he doesn't want to be referred by anything except his Instagram name, @Dan_AM_I. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So first of all, man, fuck you. I just want to know off bat, just how'd you make your money, man?
Do you know what? Each dollar at a time. Somebody asked me the same question a couple of weeks ago. I said, "Well, how'd you make your money?" He goes, "Just like you, $1 at a time."
No, man, come on. Give me a little more specific than that, man. I know a little bit, but I mean, to people who don't, it's like originally came from.
Yeah, it originally came from going into manufacturing back in 1999, early 2000.
Apparel?
It went into the apparel industry. It was kind of a shoot off of where I was. My father and uncle owned a dye house that I had set up while I was in high school. So back then, no internet.
Yeah, no, it was none of that.
If we needed to understand plumbing, electricals, I had to go to the library and kind of self-teach yourself. And we built one of the first dye house plants in Paramount, California.
Right.
Yeah, and interestingly, did really well and kept growing. And that was my senior year in high school, and then helped set up that plant. Went off to USC, and while I was going to school, going back and forth, helping my uncle and my father. And
what'd you study at USC? Business?
Yeah, business entrepreneur.
What's it again? What's not Warren? What's it called?
Marshall.
Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just kept growing. And after I finished college in 4 years, ran back to help them build a larger facility. But my interest wasn't in the apparel or the fashion industry. It was more in the cars. But I didn't know
Even
anything
back
about
then
cars.
it was?
Yeah, it was. I thought during that time, it was a time when Korea was opening up. We were starting to become a powerhouse.
For metal and stuff, right?
Yeah. In '88, we had the Olympics. Everything was going on.
Yeah. So my sister is probably about your age, and then my brother's a little older than you. So my brother was in the cars back then too. So we grew up in that, and we'll get into the car shit in a minute. I don't know if you know, I've spoke about it on one of my last episodes, or recent episode, is my mom was in the garment industry.
Yeah.
Early on. My mom put the sewing machine in a lot of people's hands.
Absolutely.
Before Forever 21, before all those people. My mom was one of the first, period. Like we're talking about early 70s, my mom was dress contracting in downtown Los Angeles before anybody
way
had
early,
things.
yeah.
So one thing I don't know about you, man, is where'd you grow up?
So I came to the U.S. when I was 4.5 years old. 6 older sisters, mother and father. Hell yeah!
Holy shit!
I'm very in touch with my feminine side, but that's why my father and I used to go fishing a lot. We just had to stay out of the house.
Hold on, 6. But like, what city did you grow up out here?
So when we first came to the U.S., we were out of South Bay, Lawndale, Hawthorne.
Oh, Lawndale, okay,
Yeah, and then went to school there where I think I was the only Asian when we went. My sisters and everyone, we were probably one of the only Asians in that area.
That's crazy because there's so many Koreans in Torrance and like South Bay area now. Like
that was way later.
Yeah,
but that's where we grew up, kind of the inner city.
Right.
Father and mother were very well educated from Seoul University.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, they were a pharmacist, but they chose to come to the U.S. because they want a better life for the family, and that's just the same immigrant, story that any immigrant has, I would say. And God bless that they did. And they're still alive. They're 90 years old and
holy shit,
kicking in Fullerton.
Damn, Fullerton, it's super Korean area.
Exactly.
Shit. So okay, so of course I know you're a fucking entrepreneur, right? I hate that fucking title. I mean, but like if you were to label yourself more specific, like for instance, okay, let's say for instance you're gonna get a loan application. I know you got a lot of money. Listen, we're not gonna get into fucking the billions of dollars you have. If you were going to buy a fucking $20 million house and you wanted to get a loan for whatever reason, what would you write down for like your job title?
Well, I am a CEO of a company and a few other companies, but they don't ask those questions anymore.
When you get to that label or that level, right? I mean,
they just want your personal financial statement, and they know that they want to understand where all your money's hidden and not hidden.
Right.
That's what you got to get.
You know what's really funny? When did you okay, let me ask you a question. Have you ever financed an exotic car before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the thing where they want to know where it's actually garaged? When you gave them like the mailing address, right? And then they hit you back like, hey, we need to know where it's being garaged.
That I don't remember. They usually want to know on the insurance side because if it burns down, they want to know who did it.
Right. No, it's just funny because I remember that like I started realizing when I'm going to get cars now, right? And obviously I'm on a smaller level than you, but for the people, from the level between me and you is a big gap, but like from me to some people is even just as big of a gap, right? So when I go apply for a fucking Ferrari the first time, actually I bought it cash, so it's no issue. But like other times, you get in with like a financier and they're just like the bank, they have all these questions, whatever. Now there's just really no questions with me. It's pretty cool, you kind of go in there like literally any financial deal. I don't give a fuck if it's $500,000 car, whatever. It's done in less than 10 minutes, which is dope.
It's relationships.
It's like all fucking day long for someone else, Anyways, all right, so what's the biggest misconception about you?
Biggest misconception? I don't know, because I don't ask what persona that people realize.
You gotta, come on, man, you gotta have, you must read something about yourself and...
Well, recently it was about, my love for which brand of cars. I've owned pretty much all brands of cars, and there's certain ones that I like better than others, but some of them I just rather not participate in, and, Ferrari is one of them.
It's one of my questions down. It's like 7 more questions down, but you know what? Let's just get into it. Why don't you like Ferrari, bro?
Well, the car is incredible products, but, there has to be a relationship with the brands and the what the brand stands for. It can't be just about the product. So early on, the first hypercars or exotic cars that I bought were Ferraris, and realized, man, there is no symbiotic relationship here. They just want my money, and whether I depreciate, Whether they,
I think it's completely opposite now, dude. It's like literally 1,000% completely opposite of what you're saying.
in respect to what? Because they wanted all my money and they weren't going to leave any meat on the bone for me to at least not lose on that car.
Okay, so let's just say, for instance, right, with Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I've lost $1 million with Lamborghinis now. Now, I know I didn't get a Centenario, I didn't get whatever, but even like a somewhat of a rare car,
Yeah.
a SV or something, you know, it's like, bro, I've lost 100 grand. I bought a fucking event store, and I've had 4 event stores, and every single one I lost money on.
Well, I don't know what the relationship was, but whether you lose money or not, that's very important to me. But secondary, it's the experience. I don't like going into a Ferrari dealership and having them treat me as if I don't know shit about what I'm about to do, making me buy a Portofino or a California or shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going, you know what? That's fine. You know what? If you do the math, go to the secondary market, pay the premium, and you're done. I don't have to own a car that I don't really want.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, look at like, okay, Lamborghini didn't do that for me, whatever. But at the same time, like, I just felt like after really, you know, of all people, and it's so fucking crazy, of all fucking people.
Yeah.
One day I'm cruising the Cars and Chrono, and it's me, Alejandro, and David Lee.
Yeah.
And we're driving to David Lee's shop, and these motherfuckers are both going like 75, 80 miles per hour.
That fast?
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, bro. I call Alejandro. I was like, hey, bro, everything okay with you, man? So I smashed. I doing about 160, 170. And we're on the 210.
That's terrible. What the hell are you doing?
And these guys don't even fucking... And David Lee's on his phone. He's fucking not even using Bluetooth. He's on his phone. And by the way, he's in his LaFerrari. And I'm like, Dave, like, come on, bro. Like, let's fucking pick up the pace, you know? So we get there. We start driving, whatever. When we park, this is the first time me and Alejandro ever had a conversation before. And he's at a 918. And he goes, hey, man, how do you like your event store? And I was like, I mean, it's cool. I love it. You know, but yeah, it takes a long time for it to get warmed up. You know, you got to drive for 30 minutes in traffic, drive it hard here and there, whatever. Then finally, that transmission smooths out and it feels like not such a fucking V12. It just kind of eases up. It's not such a, I don't feel like I've got into a fucking, 12-round boxing match after I get out of the car. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, but doesn't it feel scary when you're going like 140? And I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, what do you mean? Every car feels scary at 140. But then it made sense. Yeah. It does. If any car felt fucking scary, that car, first of all, the blind spots in it just felt weird. So that being said, I had a 2012. I get suckered into buying a 2014 because it's the 50th anniversary, right? And then get into a fucking SV. And I'm just like thinking like, yo, dude, everyone I know who's bought a fucking Aventador has, unless like maybe you got SV early and you didn't take delivery and you sold, everyone lost except obviously a Centenario or like a fucking, or a Venton, you know.
I've been through 7 Aventadors.
And you broke even on all of them? Or?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, early on from the early on cars when they were first out, just, you know.
Actually, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. I bought my 2012 kind of used, and I think I bought it for like $350, right? If I even got what MSRP had to be more than that. And then I ended up flipping it probably around the same. But my 2014, I bought for like $420 something. And then I sold the car for like $375 because it just wouldn't move at that time. It just was, and I was like, fuck this, let me get rid of it. But what I'm getting at is every Ferrari I've bought, I haven't made less than 100 grand profit, at least minimum. I made 100 grand on each car.
See, that's a good relationship. That means someone's taking care of you.
Yeah.
Here in Newport, that's where I was doing the Ferrari.
Oh, fucking Newport Ferrari.
Yeah, no one has value there. I've had people who were long time, bought every car, own LaFerraris at sticker. Yeah. And when they tried to flip their LaFerrari, they said, no, you got to bring it back.
Yeah, no, fuck all that.
And you're going to give it to me back at sticker, and then I'll give you the
no, they're tripping. They're tripping, no. Yeah. Even on the relationships I have, like, you know, they're like, all right, well, you know, there's a 6-month period, year period, blah, blah. You come back, yeah, there's more love, but no, fuck all that bullshit. So since we're talking about cars, fuck, man, I might as well get into it, man. You know, so for the people, my followers, you know, we have there's a mutual mix of the exotic car fans that follow us, but a lot of people who just don't. They're just hip hop guys who don't know you.
Right.
This guy has a shitload of cars, man. So what kind of cars do you have in your stable right now? Like, in fact, hold on. I know there's like 40 crazy cars, but like, what's the top 10, 20 illest in your collection right now?
I would say the Koenigsegg's, Paganis, both in the Wyra BC to the Zondas. Those are probably one of the rarest cars. But yeah, definitely those would probably be the most rarest cars.
What's your most expensive Koenigsegg again? It was like 4 mil?
5 million plus, but we don't know. You never put a price until you sell it, and that car will never be sold, at least not out of my hands.
So what's the last, well, no, you have a Centenario. That's what, 2.5, 3?
2.5, 3 is what 2 point something I bought it for. I don't know off the top of my head, but the value of cars is really, you could put a stated value, but when there's a perfectly spec'd car,
for sure,
and
100%.
When you're in those dollar values, people will pay whatever they need to pay. My Zondas are worth over $30 million because the rarity of it. These Zondas are, Cinque Coupe, 1 of 5, Cinque Roadster, 1 of 5, and then 1 of 3 of the Tricolore. So the value, I mean, if you think about the value of those 13 cars out there and the value of the Pagani Zondas, and to have those 3 in one spot, it just creates a pretty cool story.
So you're saying those cars could be worth 30 million each?
No, in total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 30 million plus, but I've had offers. That's why I could state it, but I have not.
Right. No, I get it. But like, for instance, those crazy Ferraris are going for 40 million, 37 million, vintage. Yeah, so anyways, going back, there's a rumor, man, and it's funny because who was just in the room? We heard a rumor, and there's a rumor that the people are saying that you're like a super deep investor in Pagani.
No. Well, I own a lot of their cars, but no, I'm not an investor in Pagani.
Yeah, okay. So that was just some funny shit. So tell me, and for the people who own Ferraris and Lamborghinis or anything else, tell me, is Horacio, is that how you pronounce his name? Horacio? Is he just like a smarter DeLorean? Is he? No.
He's actually a very talented, not to say DeLorean wasn't, but Horacio comes back, you got to remember, it goes back to the heritage of Lamborghini. Right. He was the epitome of their carbon fiber master. He's an incredible designer, very, very talented designer. And aside from the way strategy where Pagani went and Koenigsegg and some other brands went, Pagani, he loved designing in terms of Da Vinci. It's everything where design and mechanics work together in harmony rather than not just go fast, but it's got to go in style.
Okay. But so tell me why Pagani isn't just like, it's just not an expensive kit car with the AMG engine?
No, I mean, when we say kit cars, it could be from left to right, how far it is. The AMG engine, he chose to go, again, different strategy from Koenigsegg. Koenigsegg, everything's built in-house. He felt as though that he wanted to put more emphasis on the design aspect and taking the best parts of the world that he could find. And an AMG engine is incredible.
It is. I mean, I've had a lot of them.
With the AMGs compared to Cosworths and some of the major engine builders, but his position of how he wants to design and put the engine together, that was his strategy. And if it works, it works.
Well, am I crazy? Okay, so back in the day, though, Koenigsegg, weren't they kind of like AMG? Not AMG. Weren't they like a Brabus? Didn't they do like a Porsche? Or didn't they do parts? No. They only made cars?
They only made one car. Christian von Koenigsegg, at the age of 22, he started his own company to build cars, and he had his singular design, and that's what he did.
I forgot why I felt like that name came from somewhere else. Like if they did, like Jimbala did Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that was, okay, forget all that. So man, let me ask you, man, when it comes to like the YouTube shit and everything and that whole influencer stuff, like, what are I see you're friends with Shmi.
Yeah.
I think he's a fucking cornball. And you're friends with that.
Wait. Let's go beyond. You said he's a cornball. That's his persona, but when let's give him the props for the talent. He's one guy that that will do filming, and he'll know everything about the car. He'll teach me about my cars that I didn't even know, details about technical specifications, and he'll do this like 3-minute, filming without missing a beat, non-edited, and he'll go through it. He's got talent. So if you see him film this thing,
I've met him before. He came to a Quick Strike one time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he was in LA, came to a Quick Strike. And I seen him, I know he goes on the track with his cars and whatever, and he's with the McLaren and shit, but like, I was hoping he'd get in the car. Like, we had some real F1 racers come out with us and get silly in cars. I've had F1 racers. I don't want to say the name because I said it before and they got in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a top F1 racer.
Yeah.
We're talking about champion F1 racer. Got in a C63 Mercedes and was fucking 99.9% of every car, except for on some of those crazy straightaways. He destroyed everyone.
Yeah.
From Hollywood to Malibu. This motherfucker was some of the best driving I've ever seen in my life. I was like, holy shit, that's a C63.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't really fuck it. I just don't think he'd go stupid. But, again, I mean, but like Supercar Blondie, you feel the same way? She's like...
She's different in terms of, again, different demographics. I think she knows about her cars pretty well, but
I think she just introduces all these new fucking concept cars and shit, and like,
she addresses a different market. It's just because they're all YouTubers, they address and connect with different demographics, just like you do.
I don't know, bro. I just think, can you buy her some lip injections, man? She just needs some, bro. I met her at I don't know. No, it was a different time. I met her at Cars and Chrono
But I'll tell you, her and her husband Nick. They're really good people. They're hustling just like everyone.
I'm not mad at them. I just met her. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I thought there was a contest going on. Like, who had a longer face? She had a fucking long ass face, bro. Like, I was like, yo, is there a contest going on? Like, god damn.
No, they're really good people.
That's cool, man. She was friends with the other Korean with the Bugatti.
Ben.
No, not Ben.
Which other one? Bugatti. What other Korean?
Coco Couture, is that it?
Yeah, it's Ben.
Oh, his name's Ben too?
Yeah,
fuck,
Ben.
I forgot. He used to hit me up all the time. Then I met him. I was like, what the fuck? All you guys don't want to show your fucking face, man. You guys are fucking weirdos, bro. By the way, what is...
We're not all good looking like you, Ben.
Hey, bro, I wish I was good. So why don't you like having your picture taken or having your like being...
It was because it's simple. A lot of people ask me about it, and I'm not shy about it. The whole reality is I don't want to take away from the cars and my presentations. My Instagram was kind of out of nowhere. It wasn't to become famous about something.
I don't believe it was either.
Yeah, I just wanted to be low key about it, and sometimes
How are you gonna be low key about a $5 million car, though?
Well, that's why, because it's about a car. It's not about me.
Okay,
and therefore, why they'll see the car driving. They don't want to hear who I am, what I am. They want to see how these cars drive, what they feel like.
I was totally opposite. I didn't give a fuck about the cars. I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? When I found out you're a Korean, I actually was 10 times more intrigued. And at the same time, listen, Dan, you can't ever tell me, like, I've been on the track, I've done everything you could do with the car, like certain things, and I love cars, right? And again, listen, when David Lee bought fucking Alejandro's old Pagani, I didn't understand it, didn't get it. I've got into a couple. I know Brett David, I know people, and I've gone into cars. I still, it just doesn't, and that's for me.
Yeah,
again, it just don't. Fuck it. Let's not even get into that right now, man. What's the fastest you've ever driven on a California highway?
200 and not California, Nevada highway.
No, I'm talking about California. I'm talking about that little bullshit. I'm talking about somewhere that's not closed down where cars will be driving no matter what.
No, I don't remember. I don't look down at my Speedo while
okay,
I'm
but if you were to guess.
I don't remember.
Bro, no one's going to fucking indict you and fucking get you in trouble. I'm saying like...
Somebody said that maybe I was over 100 miles an hour, and probably.
Come on, man.
I don't. Seriously, I've never looked down at my Speedo and said, how fast we're going. Because I'll tell you, in a Koenigsegg, which is probably one of the fastest cars that I own, you could blip that thing to 170 miles an hour without even thinking about it.
Okay, so have you done that in California?
I may have blipped it once or twice.
Okay. Like, in your McLaren, in your Senna,
yeah,
you don't think you've taken at least $150 somewhere?
Senna, I would, actually, possibly it could have happened. And the reason why I say is I don't remember, because I don't do that in traffic, but that car really takes off. The other car that I would say that probably would have done it was when I had my Bugatti Chiron.
Right.
That car took off pretty fast, but yeah, probably in 150 range.
You fucking pussy, man.
That's right.
I'll do 150 on motherfucking MacArthur, bro. I'm dead serious. Have you ever been on a track before, though? You like full like lessons and everything?
Yeah, so I've done it with the Ferrari stuff over in Canada, but I'm a member over at Spring Mountain over in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
So we're on that track. But
back in the day, you ever go to like Bondurant race? Like I went to Bondurant, race school back in the day, and like.
Yeah, we did the race schools with Ferrari when I was a Ferrari fan early on. So they have their classes as well as the ones over at Spring
So for the most part, though, you drive pretty chill on the streets.
Yeah.
You're a fucking bitch, man.
I'm an old man. I
don't give a fuck.
I don't have very good eyesight.
How old is your oldest kid?
16 and a half.
Okay, what does your kid drive?
A Toyota truck. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
We're going to stop this interview right now, man. I will... Come on, Dan.
Swear to God.
He drives a fucking 4Runner?
Yeah,
but that's what
what is that thing? It's
not a Tacoma.
Taco. Yeah, taco. Yeah, a Tacoma.
That's what he wanted?
That's what he wanted.
No, come on, man.
I promise you. So when it was time for him to get his car, he I said, so what do you want? And he originally said he wanted a Volkswagen. Well, it's not a Jetta, a GT something. GTI or something. I said, okay. And Mom looked at it and said, no, that safety ratings are horrible. I go, okay. I said,
God.
so what do you think? Maybe you want a Porsche?
Is your wife Korean?
Yeah.
And oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't believe she did that. You know what though? I have a friend who has a Tacoma and he loves it, but I just...
Well, no, I offered him, he said, so, I kind of said, do you want a Porsche Macan or something like that? Or, something that you drive. He goes, and his answer to me was...
Okay, how old is the next kid?
He's 14.
Okay, so when he turns 16, what do you think he's going to want?
The secondary Tacoma.
Oh my God.
Hey, actually, that Taco was even a used car. It wasn't even a new one. His answer to me was epic, and I appreciate it. He said, Dad, I don't want to be that guy.
That's dope.
Yeah, he said
cool.
he doesn't want to go. He goes, there's people out there with Porsches
That's
and all
really,
these cars. And when I thought that he was mature enough, and I started to saying, you know what, I'm glad he's growing up. It's nothing that I taught him, but the fact that he said he didn't want to be that guy and he just wanted to have a low-key truck, I was very blessed and thought, you know what?
Do your kids go to private school or no?
The two older ones do, and then the two youngers in public.
Okay. So do you think your son, like right now, he's just a chill dude? Is he popular? Is he just...
I think so. He's popular enough in his own realm, and to the point where people know...
Like, they'll be like, oh, your dad's a dude with the fucking car.
They know.
They know that? Okay.
But
so you think, I mean, honestly, I'm just curious, because this is going to have to happen to me in 8 years, right? Like, you think your son's having sex right now or no?
I have no idea.
Fuck,
you know what?
man.
He won't even talk to me about his girlfriends because we have an interesting relationship. I tease them so bad they don't want to tell me anything.
Fuck, man! You didn't have the fucking conversation about the chaji and the poji.
We tried, and he just freaks out.
No, I get it. I guess. So, I mean, for the most part, do you spoil your kids? You think, or you?
That's all relative. I think I spoiled them because they have advantages a lot of kids probably don't have.
For sure.
Things that I didn't have growing up.
Do they get an allowance?
Yes, for food. But you know what? The allowances that we talked about in the old days is not the same. It's not allowance. They get dollars in their debit card. They put things in the Amazon cart.
Yeah.
Stupid shit like that.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's crazy. It's when you told me you had 4, I was like, I thought about it. I was like, nah, fuck that.
No, you should. No, but you know what? You're good. You got 2 and 1. No,
I'm straight now.
I think 2 boys and a daughter.
No, what I'm saying is, bro, I mean, I had my daughter at 46, so I'm like, yo, bro, I'm a wrap now. I'm good,
She's cute. She's such a cutie, man.
Thank you. Question, man. Do you own a yacht?
No, I sold all my boats, and those were the happiest days of my life.
How come every single person, because I thought about buying a boat, right?
Oh, God.
Every single person I've talked to, not 1, not 2, not 3, I'm talking 20 people.
Every one of them
have all said, hey, bro, it's endless money. Just that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking done.
First of all, do you even like being on a boat?
If it's over 50 feet, yeah.
Yeah, to do what? Just to cruise or to fish or what?
Fall asleep, chill, go out there, be away from everyone, fuck you. I don't like the water that much, though.
Then.
I don't. Okay. Do you own a helicopter?
No.
Fuck, man, that's something I do want to buy, though. I do want to, before a boat, I want to get a helicopter.
We did the research on it, in fact, because we fly back and forth from our racetrack. We just end up doing private jets, but the fact is that on a helicopter, unless it's something in
bro,
a
you know how fucking choppy that fucking ride is, bro? That should make you sick, bro.
Well, not if you're in like an Augusta, something that could take you up to the 10,000 mark, then you're okay.
I haven't seen one of those yet. I mean, there's an Hermes one that I wanted that's like 10 mil.
Yeah.
There's an Hermes helicopter. It's dope as fuck.
That's great.
But I've been in a nice helicopter before, and that motherfucker's choppy as shit, dude. Like,
if you're in a jet helicopter like an Augusta or an EC and you're flying up there, it's actually pretty nice. It gets you to places. If I had more work in like Los Angeles from Orange County, I would take a helicopter. There's no way I'd take 4 hours out of my day.
Nah, I hear you. How much is one like an Augusta helicopter?
An Augusta, you could get something, a used one from $4 million all the way up to $8 million. So not bad. But it's the operational cost, I guess.
Yeah. So how much to get you to LA, like downtown LA and back? How much do you think that's going to cost?
Cost or time? Cost to rent it or to own it?
No, if you owned one, how much would gas, whatever, or
Annualized, you're going to spend about $800,000 a year servicing it. So you want to use the hell out of it as much as you want.
Because I've already done that. I've taken a helicopter from downtown to Palm Springs. That shit took no time.
Yeah, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
No time, bro.
It's better to go ahead and rent it though, because especially out of Van Nuys, they've got a great company out there. I forgot the name of it, but they have a bunch of Augustas. But
hey, man, I vomited out of the motherfucker. Yeah, right there. I mean, bro, it's just so choppy. We're going through certain areas, man. I was just going through.
Wow, then definitely don't get a boat.
Yeah, no, boat is. Bro, that's why I said it had to be over 50 feet. Any smaller boat, even you go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Philippines before?
No.
Okay, well, imagine going to the Philippines, going somewhere, and then you land, and then you got to take a boat to Shangri-La, to one of the 5-star resorts.
Yeah.
And the boat's holds 30 people, and I can't do it, dog. For 10, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I'm ready to fucking die.
Is it the motion or the smell?
It's the motion. It's got nothing to do with smell. Dramamine works, but I'm just
yeah.
So, question, man. What time do you wake up on a daily?
Probably about 7:30. Right around 7:30.
Late. Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, you don't take your kids to school. That's right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your day like? Break it down from 7:30 to 10 p.m. for the most part.
Morning times, looking at emails, texts, whatever's coming through,
right.
Educating myself for what's going out in the world, from everything from financial news to just even gossip of what's going on.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Some of that you have to kind of, with all the fake news we talk about.
I get it.
You got to kind of take all the angles and see what's real and what's not. I go to the office. Or either that I'm having outside meetings. Usually I'm home if I'm going home to have dinner with the family, which is not that often, they all have their own dinner and their own schedules.
Right.
I'll be home by 7 o'clock in the evening. If not, if I'm having dinners with the friends, and maybe I'm home about 8:39.
Shit, man. My kids have dinner at 5:30, 5 o'clock,
Exactly.
5:30. It's fucking crazy.
And are you at home to have dinner with them or no?
It's rare, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
bro, I just got home yesterday from my 72nd flight.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to do
crazy.
100 flights this year, dude.
Yeah.
So, question, man. How good is your hanguma?
Terrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. I can understand more than speak it.
So
yeah.
you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest of 7 children.
Wow. Listen, hold on. Oh, that's right. 6 older sisters.
Yeah.
Damn, you're the mangnan, bro. That's crazy. Holy shit. How often do you visit Korea?
Maybe once or twice a year.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I slowed down too. I'm probably 2 times a year as well.
Yeah.
How crazy that I end up physically meeting you in Korea.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just thinking about that.
Of all places in the COEX. Yeah. This is anybody who's listening, obviously, if you go to Seoul, you must check out the COEX. There's no mall in the world that looks like this. The fucking library in there is the most beautiful thing in the world, but there's just so many random fucking...
Yeah.
When you're here, every mall will have a Wetzel's, every mall will have a fucking Abercrombie, every mall will have a Foot Locker. This is just you're not gonna know any of these fucking stores. Not one of them.
And that shit's connected to an underground world. So,
For real it is, dude.
Literally, if you talk about a high-tech world with some backward shit in Korea, if you go there and you don't, and the weather gets really bad out there, very extreme, but there's a whole world underneath the ground, and it's incredible. It's beautiful.
How about this? My first time in Korea. Listen, I've been to Tokyo a lot of times, right? And even China. But I feel like, and no, I'm not being partial to Koreans because we're both with that Hanguk blood. Tell me it's not, Korea was the first place to literally have the entire world is underneath the fucking ground.
Yeah. And it's functional.
Yeah.
Your internet connection, everything, your cell connection, everything's there.
The only thing that sucks is, that's another crazy thing. You could be literally 100 feet underground and you have fucking 5 bars. Yeah. That shit is the craziest thing in the world. But first time me going to Seoul, and I'll explain to you later, you'll understand why. And because you're older than me, you'll really understand why. But I don't think I can introduce it to my followers now just yet. But there was a reason why I couldn't go to Korea for a long time. When the government had changed so many times over, I was cool to go. And I remember the first thing I thought when I get into the middle of Gangnam, right? I'm in the middle of Abujang, and I'm like, why does it smell like thong everywhere, man? Right?
That's shit.
Yeah. It just smells like shit everywhere. It smells real bad, right? So it smells really, really bad.
It's crazy, backwards.
And I'm like, fuck. But then yet again, you drink the fucking tap water and it's better than fucking this water we have right here, and the Jeju Island water. It's so why do you think because like when you're driving in Korea and you see like Google Maps or using like, say for instance, the Korean driver is driving you, right? She's driving you around.
Right.
You realize don't you wonder sometimes, how the fuck did you find this address? And they'll know because it's like.
Because there is no address.
No, there isn't. There's like 15 businesses in a one place. And like, wait a second, what? And it could be on the third floor. It could be on the fucking second floor beneath.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that's amazing? That's just
crazy. That's why I say with such a high-tech country, can't believe the backwardness of it. But you know, there is some romance to that because it brings back historical things that we don't realize on the West Coast. Because, you know, here in the western side of the U.S., West Coast especially, it's so new, you know, a couple of 100 years old at the most.
Right.
Whereas in Korea, in center of Seoul, you're talking about thousands of years of still history that we're still building on top of, hence why the smell can't get to the sewer system.
Yeah, no, that's a trip, man. That's a trip. Let's get into some more business stuff, like because people, you know, the car stuff, we got into whatever, but like as far as small business, right?
Yeah.
And blooming digital media space, where do you see most of the opportunities? And by the way, we were talking about this off camera, but where do you see most of the opportunities coming from in the next 5-10 years?
I'm very excited about the fact that VCast or video, you know, being connected. We lost so much touch with authentic relationships that there's a yearning. In fact, there's so many research about how many people are lonely. Even though we're so connected digitally now with social media, there's a lot of lonely people in underserved markets. So my bet is definitely on anything that has to do with video streams and relating people back to each other. That's where even, you know, that's...
I mean, bro, more people, like customers, clients, I've never had so many people FaceTime me more than ever now. It's crazy.
They want to have that relationship.
Skype, even like family members in Korea or something, they want to Skype. And
Zoom,
I'm like, it's weird. I don't know what the fuck Zoom is. You know, I'm kind of old, I'm old fashioned on stuff. So you think that the video stuff is where a lot of it's...
Let's put it this way. I put myself and investors put a lot of money towards the video and the it's My Daily Live. Of course, I'm going to plug my own platform.
Go ahead, bro.
But our platform, My Daily Live, is bringing people together. We're in a situation where I think people want to be parts of communities, no matter how small or how big, but we want collective people to be a part of that ecosystem. I love Amazon. We all use Amazon. I love Walmart, Target, even though I've never go there. But
I've never been to Walmart, really. I've walked to Walmart once in my entire life.
Yeah.
Target, I love. I'm sorry, dude. I go in Target all the time. My kids love it.
And those places are essential to our ecosystems of our commerce. But I'm saying now, you know, going to the future after looking at my kids and their future, what I want the ecosystem to look like is kind of going backwards and making sure that we have people in their gig and economy to be part of that. Rather than Amazon, Walmart, Target making the money, I want the actual people in the community to make the money. Why?
How so? What do you mean? Elaborate. What do you mean?
So our platform is based on using social retailers, not influencers, social retailers. We're saying people should be able to have access to maybe your water bottles, your products, your brands. Why not give them the commission and the relationship to sell product?
Are you talking about like someone going directly to Colgate for toothpaste?
Sure. Well, you know, as a commodity up to that level, maybe not. You go to Amazon, do that. But when there's collective branded products and services that people will never know about unless someone else, third party, you know, we're all influential. We all talk
So
about
like,
products.
let's say for instance, like Aquapana is kind of like a very specific type of water brand. You're talking about something like that, right?
So if you say Aquapana, I have zero knowledge of what it is. But if you educate me on it and I buy it, you should be rewarded for it.
I know, but how can someone get Aquapana on My Daily Life?
So there's a lot of brands, well-known brands coming onto our platform. And so if you have a community and you kind of in the back end LinkedIn, you could create, they will give you the offer of saying, yeah, for every product you sell, I'll give you up to 30% commission on that
what
product.
I mean is, how does a consumer buy it from Daily? Is it direct to consumer?
Through episodes. So there's episodes on our platform. So the consumer will be able to see these episodes. Someone doing their QVC.
I mean, bro,
shopping.
what about a motherfucker just wants to go get some shit? Dude, Target's the best place, man.
Exactly. They can. Okay. That's why I'm saying it's not a choice of this or that. It is a new way of consuming. And Ben, I'd rather buy it from you than Target. I'd rather have you make the money.
I get it, man. All right. So what's the biggest deal you've ever missed out on?
Biggest deal that Honestly, let's see. That's a good question. What did I miss out
it
on?
made me think about it because
You know, it's funny because, you know, I've owned Apple stock since 1990.
holy shit! Don't tell me you sold it before it went
Never
crazy.
sold anything. That's kind of the guy I am. If I have a good thing, I just let it ride.
Wow, good for you.
You know, I'm committed to that. What did I miss out on? I don't know. People said I missed out on Uber and Lyft, but I don't know.
Kid from my high school is one of the people,
yeah.
one of the first investors.
Tesla, I would say.
Oh,
yeah, I know you got your history behind it, but
It's not about the history,
yeah.
bro. You know, if anything, bro, imagine how people, you know, listen,
I know.
no bullshit. I sold, you know how many Teslas I fucking sold? It's got nothing to do with that. It's just the fucking way that he just was a dickhead about the whole
it should,
situation.
but you know that how he can be, and you know how you can be.
And I get it too, and it's all good. It wasn't about that so much. It was more the fact that I got locked in a fucking car.
Yeah, that's scary.
You know, I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I understand there's the fucking emergency. No, you stupid motherfucker. I have 3 car seats behind me.
Right.
It ain't like, you know, people be like, well, who has...
Did you try kicking the windshield out or anything?
I tried to kick the fucking window, bro. It bowed.
It didn't break?
Bowed. I'm talking...
That's some good shit car.
Damn, I'm 200 people. Yeah, bro, my buddy had his son locked in the car. He was outside.
Oh.
And he tried to get in. He was literally smashing him with the telephone like a fucking... Like a...
It wouldn't break?
No, dude. He was like literally trying to break it with
I'm
like a
going to
thing.
go buy another Tesla then.
So, you know, I mean, there's
This is my second Tesla. This is my second P100D.
Right. Listen, when it worked and it was clean, I love the car. It's great, whatever. But definitely sometimes when you do forget to charge or whatever, it kind of sucks. I know the superchargers aren't everywhere. I mean, listen, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's cool. And then some people are like, oh, well, it's not that great. Everyone has opinion about everything. Look at...
No, but let's talk about electric cars because there's a misconception. You know, there's a lot of hypercars coming out with electric, you know.
I just bought an SF90.
Okay, good for you, but that's a hybrid. I'm talking
I
full
know.
electric, but I will not buy a full electric sports car unless it's a utility car for myself.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Even though fuck Tesla, I still have a Roadster on order. I still have it on order.
That's a badass car.
I mean, but bro, what was I supposed to do? Like, it was such a small investment. I'm banking on the fact that, worst case scenario, I'll get my money back.
Oh, absolutely, you will.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'll just do it.
Did you see that damn car in the UK testing? That thing
Bro.
is a monster.
No, let me ask you a question. Do you think that was fucking altered at all? You think that was like...
No.
But we're talking about... We're not even talking about Godzilla. We're talking about a fucking absolute monster.
You know, that thing would go even faster if we had the tires that could hold up.
Right. Well, I mean, the Bugatti tires, those tires are fucking... Those
are
are
Michelin.
Right.
You know, our Michelin tires are great. The same ones we have on our Koenigseggs when we did the record-breaking events. These Michelin makes the best tires. You know, all my cars that come with Pirellis, I change them out.
Okay,
to all
so check
Michelins.
this out. Ready for this? When I first got my 675 LT, I didn't think it was really going to be faster than my 488 GTB. Right? Get it? Don't ask me why. Please don't. I have no idea. The guy who originally bought the car, he took and you could say what you want to, and I don't care because I'm a Michelin fan. So you're talking to the wrong person. This guy took the Super Trofeos off, which are probably the stickiest tire I've ever seen in my life, but they only give you 2,000 miles, right? Stickiest tire in the world. He took them off and put regular P0s, not Corsas, just regular P0s. Yeah. Every time I gas the tires could be as hot as possible. Okay. I'm talking, I've been driving for 30 minutes hard. Tires are as hot as possible. As soon as I gun it, boom, I'm about to end up in the curb because the car loses control.
Yep.
We were talking about things before, and you say, hey, 20 minutes ago, you said, or 25 minutes ago, we said, hey, you find that perfectly spec car, right? And it goes on to, of all people, Josh from Bowdoin, right? He's like, hey, bro, you're an instant track star in this car. and I said, you think so? And he goes, I've never seen you drive like this because you're a fucking crazy guy. And this was when I had my GT3 RS.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you to this day,
car.
it's not as fast as all my cars.
No, it's the fun.
But that's the most amazing fucking car. And I had a GT2 RS.
Yeah.
And guess what?
No.
It's not the same thing.
No, we all.
And the GT3 RS, there have been times where we were racing on the street, like racing in a quick strike, and I've made 2 other cars engines blow up. I had a guy's fucking the bonnet in his car. I saw fucking fire coming out. Then the Aventador crashed. Like people couldn't keep up with me because now on the straightaways, I won't say his name, but you'll know he was in his 918. I couldn't hang, bro. Yeah. But when I'm mashing, like that car, it's something about like, you know, people say there's track speed. Like, I mean, like a football, like a runner on the track, he can run fast.
Yeah.
On a straightaway, he can run fast. but somehow, some way, when a ball's in the air, he'll run to the ball faster than the person that could run. It's like football speed. The GT3 RS is football speed.
I would 100,000% agree that that is the best car for the money that you could get into is a GT3 RS, all variants of it. That car is not only, it's fast. It's not fast, straight like, getting a Koenigsegg fast, but I have had Christian von Koenigsegg. I've had people from Koenigsegg in the 3RS, and they say, I love it.
It's fucking amazing,
gearbox,
man. That's what it is. The gearbox is insane. And then on top of that, I straight piped it. So, like, of course I'm losing back pressure, but the sound is insane and the motor. But the crazy part about the whole thing is that was my first time really using Michelin Sport Cup 2s.
Yeah.
And I said, bro, listen, I'm talking about making hairpin turns at 130 miles per hour on a city road, a public road. And I have zero squealing, nothing. And I'm just like, yo, this is insane. I'm fucking everyone up on the street right now. And this is just because it's like a remote control car. But anyways, it's just funny.
It's cool because we need to understand for those guys out there, you guys keep it safe on the road. That's my public.
You got to have experience and you got to realize, listen, riding a motorcycle all my life made me a better driver because you realize how bad people drive. We used to call people, in cars, cagers. Yeah. And when you ride a motorcycle, when you're going fast, you have to know you're going to crash. It's not if, it's always going to be when you're going to crash. And when you're riding a motorcycle, let's say I'm going down a street, a public, residential area. I got to think a cat's going to run out. I'm going 60 miles per hour.
Absolutely.
I got no time. A dog here and there. So your reaction time is so much less. When you're going 160 miles per hour, you're going a football field, NFL football field, goalpost to goalpost in 1 second. So when I understand that, now I'm competently admitting that I'm a fucking idiot, that I'm doing this in slight rain in traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I didn't know that part.
So like, you haven't heard stories of me driving, seriously?
I don't want to.
So anyways, the GT3 RS.
Yes.
For fucking 250 grand, you got to be kidding me. This thing
Put some Michelin Cup 2s on it. It will grip, but almost the point where it doesn't, you don't want to be overconfident in any car, but the braking capability and the grip is the most important about any car.
Get the PCCB. Yeah. Get the ceramic brakes.
Yeah.
Don't get the steel brakes.
Yeah. But we agree on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's crazy. Because you know what? Like, I remember my first time driving a LaFerrari, my first time driving a 918, and then going like, we did pulls. My 720S versus the 918.
Yeah.
And when we got to the 140 pulls, he was out of there, right? Then I got my car tuned. Yeah. And then I got an exhaust system on it.
Yeah.
And I took off on him.
Who did that exhaust?
Gintani.
Yeah. Good car.
And the crazy part is the Senna now. When I got in a P1 and I got in the Senna, I could not believe how fucking fast the Senna is. It's the most disgusting thing. It was so fucking fast.
And that's the thing is a lot of people compare the Senna to P1 saying, oh, for $800,000, $1 million, that's what you're going to get for a Senna. You get a lot of car for that money. And especially when you compare it to P1. But what a lot of people don't understand is if you've ever been in a P1, the visceralness of that P1. The P1 is still one of my classic favorites because of when you're in the car and you're hearing that spaceship noise in that car.
Oh, yeah. And then also if you have the scoop. Oh. So, question, between the three, right? The P1, the 918, and the LAF, right? Forget the shit with your history. I'm saying, between those three, which one of your three is the favorite?
I would say it would be, in drivability-wise, it's the P1. As far as talk shit, it's the LAF.
Yeah.
LaFerrari.
Oh my god, it's one of the most beautiful cars
absolutely.
in the world, dog.
But if you want a true racing car, because I've taken the LaFerrari out, and you could go fast, but I'm always scared in that car.
How weird did you say that? Why are you saying that now?
That car is so loose that you're never really fully in control in that car.
Okay, so now when you say loose, articulate that a little bit more.
So the car really, the back end loves to go.
Okay.
And so if you're not careful and you're not on it, that car will give.
So now why do you think that is? Because it happened to me. And I thought, holy shit, dude, $2.7 million. I'm fucked. I'm about to fuck someone.
It depended on when you did. It could have been a $4 million mistake too at one time.
Right.
Well, the reason why is you've got that, the hybrid engine in it, and you've got instantaneous torque when the battery kicks in.
Right.
And so the ECU on that car was not perfected for that car.
And it wasn't meant to get, it wasn't ready for it, pretty much.
No. And especially with the damn Pirellis on it, you got to take those off.
Okay, well, on the P1 and on the 918. The 918 handles great, everything else. Especially, I can't believe how solid it feels going straight, even with the top down.
But it's not that fun.
But no, it feels good. P1 definitely is what a great car. I didn't get to go. That's the one I never got to go over 100 miles per hour in.
Oh, you'd love it.
But the Senna, to me, drove faster than all three of them and more. Look, people say, "Oh, it's a race car with the license plate." No, the Senna is a real fucking race car with the license plate.
And I got nothing bad to say about it because that car, for the money and putting it on the road, it's one of the fastest cars and just visceral. I mean, just.
It's got to be the fastest. I'm trying to think of like really. Pagani doesn't count. I'm talking about if you get to that $1 million mark, and you're talking about cars that they made at least 500 cars of something like that. There's nothing that's even.
A Courier GT, a CGT. Now that's a scary car.
That's probably the scariest car I ever owned in my life.
Yeah.
At the same time, because you don't drive stick shift so much, it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But back then in 04, 05, when you're driving stick a lot, but I'll tell you this. There's no car ever made in the history of fucking world of Earth that sounds that good.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to watch that movie Fracture just to hear that fucking car leave the fucking airplane hangar because it's just so...
Which I'm going to make another plug, man. We've got some videos and sound bites of cars coming out so that people could enjoy the damn thing in true binaural.
Damn.
It's going to be awesome. So, I've got some of I can't name the name, but it's one of those car game companies that want to integrate our technology so that actually when you're playing it, it'll feel like really as close as you can as if you were in the car.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now back to, well, actually, you know what? Let me stop. I just fucking saw something right now. Fuck this. I don't know how much you pay attention to my stories, and everything else, but like I'm big on watches, and that's one of the most successful things that I've taken. Bro, why are you wearing a Richard Mille, bro?
Don't you? Look at you. Look at all those rocks on you.
What are you talking about? This is a fucking Patek Philippe, bro. This is a Patek Philippe, bro. This has been around since the 1800s. That watch was fucking, that watch was created and found in 1992, bro. Like, that's the fucking Pagani of watches, just so you know. That's why I don't get into it.
But you know what? It's my lightest watch. You know how light this thing is.
Bro,
it's so damn light.
I've been around, I can show you a bunch of them that I'll sell them. But my question is, what made you want to buy that?
I think the mechanical aspects of what RMs do. I mean, just
the movement on the watch.
Yeah.
The guy's a genius who did. I'm just saying. But what I'm getting at is, okay.
There's other brands that could do that too, right?
Of course, I'm just saying. Like, I don't believe in the brand, man.
It's funny because that's it, and that's why you have the insight. You have the insight on the brands that you would stand by and not, and you're not an RM fan. RM to us in our groups of friends and stuff, it is the watch, but it's not like we're connoisseurs, so we don't really know. So we're just lemmings that bought.
No, I mean Jackie Chan. He's go close with the family.
Yeah.
I know JC, and like he's close with them, and they gift them watches and stuff. And it's like you look at Rolex,
right?
Maybe Roger Federer is one of their biggest endorsements, right? Maybe they might give him a Daytona. Like they're just not gifting even $10,000 watches, let alone you're gifting a $400, $800,000 watch and certain things. It's weird. It's good marketing, and they have good marketing with younger people, but it's just not.
Well, between the watches, what do I have? I have APs, I have Rolex, I
love AP, my favorite brand.
Pateks, we have RMs, and it's just certain things. It's kind of.
Imagine, bro. I paid $29 for this watch. It's worth $90 now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The value's just gone out of the control. Yeah. And I've beaten this. I've fucking beaten this watch up. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But. Man, I just can't. I tried. I had a chance to. My boy G Dragon, but the Godfather, biggest fucking K-pop dude. He got one to gift one. I was just like, I'd rock it. I was like, I can't. And this was like 5-6 years ago.
Right.
Where they are now, it's like
Yeah, and the value now has even gone even further up. Some of them are just unattainable. In fact, I'll give you an example. My McLaren watch RM that I bought alongside my Senna, the value of that watch in terms of a return on investment, if you want look at it, the watch is making more money than the car.
Yo, man, you know what's crazy?
It's crazy.
Last year at did you go to Monterey Car Week? Did you go to?
Yeah.
Okay. Last year, a Senna sold for 1.7. Now I'm getting offered a build. You know what I mean? Finally, at for MSRP, and I'm like,
do it if you're gonna get it. Here's what's gonna happen with the Sennas. So a lot of people, they talk about the fire. Yeah, there were 2-3 fires, probably more that we don't even know about.
Let me tell you something. That's not even anything. Even I don't care about that fire. Fuck that fire. Yeah. That's not scaring me at all. By the way.
Right.
Go on.
So there's a consumer concept of what these cars are until you drive it and you go, what the hell?
No, I drove the car. That's the thing. Once I got in, you know how I told you that GT3 RS feels like that?
Yeah.
This nut is Bentley-ish, if that doesn't make any sense to you.
Yeah, I
the
know.
GT3 RS felt like it's so smooth, it's almost like a Bentley, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like a Porsche, right? Like a Porsche. The McLaren just had that gangster.
You know that seat.
That seat just made me feel like I could do no wrong.
A lot of people think that the seat is not a big thing. It's everything in it when you're driving.
But the GT3 RS is.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
the GT3
carbon seats.
No, GT3 RS. Yes. Even the new SF90. These seats never like anything. And by the way, going on that, finally I get my SF90. I get a Ferrari sticker, right? I've already had 2 offers for $850 for the car. It's $200 grand over sticker.
Sell it.
You know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I love my Pista, you know, so it's like.
That's why people, they usually give me 2 cars so I can sell one and keep one.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Anyways, you got your little fucking Richard Mille, and like, I mean, do you have more than one RM?
Yeah.
I hate that watch, man. That watch is fucking terrible, man.
Quit looking at it.
So going on, let's get into more important shit. Like, this is the most important question, and you touched on it before we got on the microphone, and it scares me. I have fucking nightmares about 2008, 2009, 2010.
The economy.
Do you think that we're gonna hit a recession soon?
You know, it's. I would say we're probably somewhere around. You know, somewhere 12, 18. Again, I don't want to be the negative person.
Fuck it, bro. Be real, though, so people can compare, real. You know?
I'm looking at numbers from all sectors of what the consumers are looking at. And unfortunately, our quarterly reports that everybody uses their value to buy stocks and sell stocks on is 4 months old, 3 months old, if sometimes 6 months old information. We see information on real time. If you want to see real time information, we all need to, you know, batten down our hatches and be very conscious of where we put our monies. Cash is always king in this downturn, but that doesn't mean, you know, it could also go negative. Everybody starts hoarding and we get into an issue. Okay, this is where. Okay, so in layman's terms, it's coming. Yeah.
Okay. Now the next thing is this. I talked about it episode or 2 episodes ago. That recession made me, because I'm in a luxury business.
Yeah.
Remember, not necessity, luxury. You know, this is, and I know it'd be like, oh, it didn't affect the one. No, it affected everyone.
Of course it did.
And I was like, I can't be a jeweler anymore. This has gone crazy. So, you know, I've been a lot smarter with my money. I have 3 kids to take care of.
Yes.
And to people who say, like, there was this one episode in I don't know if it was Dark Knight or it was Dark Knight. And the guy goes, oh, don't worry about it. I get paid in cash. I have cash. He goes, well, hey, let me tell you something. All that cash under your mattress will be worth a lot less money if this gets fucked up. Now, I understood what that meant, but at the same time, I'm a strong believer that cash really is gonna fucking save you. You know what I mean? When like, especially
we're not
now,
talking about green cash. We're talking about money in the bank cash.
I'm talking about like, being liquid.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, they could be self-serving prophecies. Don't everybody freak out. There's things we can do, just like anything in the world we can do. The biggest effect of what I worry about of our global economy, not just the U.S. Look at Brexit. Look at what's happening in China.
Right.
Shit that we don't even hear in China is going on that people think, oh, it's just China. It's under the veil.
It affects us.
Oh my God, the stuff that's going in China is even scarier than what's happening here in the U.S. My position is this. For all of us, our whole community, and what we can do in our own community, we got to divert our spending our monies into our own community. And be careful where you spend your money. Spend your money where that money will ultimately end up. And again, this is not hating Amazon, but there is no way in hell in 20 years somebody could build $150 billion worth of personal assets if we weren't giving him the money. We were part of that. What I'm saying is that got sucked out of local community businesses. That's why I'm always pushing. Look, I sell to Amazon. I do a lot of things with other businesses, corporate sides, but I want a good portion of the money that I spend in my local businesses. Why?
Fuck, dude. No, you know what though? Listen,
yeah.
I swear to God, I mean this. I love Amazon. I'm addicted to it. My wife, I'll see Amazon Prime every time I come home, but this is the truth of it. There's something about going down the street and buying something and walking to a brick and mortar place and touching a tangible. Just something about that. I like it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But what you said, even me being unconscious of it, we really did help build that fucking $150 billion. It's fucking crazy.
Well, we'll never see that money again.
Yeah.
Unlike the monies that we spend at your local local restaurants, your local stores, that money will stay in your community. Remember that community, the people that you spend your money on, that money cycles back in. That 150 billion, there's no way in hell Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife and his 5 other wives, if he ever got them, will ever be able to spend all that money.
Yeah, no shit.
Meaning that money will never come back into the community.
Yeah, Dan, I didn't think. Yeah, the way you say that is just so fucked up.
So hence why I want to make sure we all take responsible measures to go spend your money, but do
good
it
guy
locally.
Dan, man. Look at Dan's a good guy. when it comes to negotiating, right?
Yeah.
Do you like to set the tone, or do you like to counteroffer?
That's a good question. It's usually I'd like to, if I know what I'm talking about, I set the tone. If I don't, I'll take the offer.
That's exactly how I feel. It's just something I question because, like, I'm thinking about, hey, how do I come into business? Just me, myself. And, I don't consider myself some fucking, like, genius entrepreneur. I've actually played everything really safe. A few things I gamble on when I'm like, yo, boom. And rarely I've lost on it, but when I do, I'm like, motherfucker, but.
You know what, though? You are building a brand that it's really important for our community. Look, I know the whole shock jock type of stuff that you can be, and I've heard it, and sometimes I cringe, but the reality is I would never tell you to be any different. The reason why is you've stated some things that in your podcast and just on a personal one-to-one, you're very, very convicted of what you say and do. It may not be right all the time, but when you have conviction, and as long as you will hear the other side of the story and go, you know what? You know when you're right, when you're wrong, that's when we all become human beings.
Oh, I'm very human.
Yeah. So I see, if I could pull out my crystal ball, I see some great future for you and what you're going to do, not only financially, but what the impact you're going to do. I think financially, you're going to be taken care of. As long as you don't worry about chasing that dragon.
That's not me.
Yeah. As long as you are doing what's right for your community and for everything you stand by and you do right by them, because you brought up even Josh from Bowdoin. I know that you've had your beef with him, but you've made it in a way to bring it up in a positive manner. You're already pivoting in a way that's going to show. Yeah.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? The
way that you're pivoting though is it's a blessing to all of us Asians to have a speaker for us that sometimes, reality is Asians, we're passive. We won't talk shit because we don't want to get slapped. Look, I can't play basketball. I'll never play baseball. I'll never play sports. God gave me my talents, and I'll stay in my lane.
Right. I never stayed in my lane, bro. I never ever stayed in my fucking lane. Yeah. So what's the best word of advice you can give to my young listeners who are trying to come up and get to live a life like yours or like even like mine? Or
I think we talked about earlier is don't worry about that grand slam or the 100-yard touchdown. Yeah. Don't worry about the big ones. Right. I gave you some number figures today.
No, I know. I don't want to get into that right now.
No, but it's funny. Right. Think about doing the math and everybody, I don't want to take everybody's time, but go look up compounding interest. If you compound interest on a daily basis, let's say you had $1,000 and you compounded and made 3% every day. Okay, we're saying 3%. Oh, that's $30 for $1,000, right? Every day you compound it and didn't take that money out, you would have $43 million by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Things like that, those little. No,
I get it. Trust me, I've used it before. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just sometimes I don't necessarily forget it. I just neglect it, and it's bad. I get it.
Put it on your refrigerator or your iPad.
Speaking of which, so what's one of the most common mistakes you see young entrepreneurs make?
Trying to be something that they're not, because we're talking about being authentic now. Our nation, our world is looking not only to the president, everyone else is to say, hey, look, there's stuff out there that we need help on. And if we're looking to people who are true heroes that are authentic and speak and walk the walk, that, my friends, you can never redo if you screw that up. If you, as a young man, decide you're going to take the easy way route and screw people, that's it. Bro,
yeah, that's why I always say chess and checkers. Checkers is just jumping the next person, just jump. You're not thinking about the repercussions, not thinking about losing the queen or something, and just. So with that said, is there anything that when you look back at your career and then wish you did differently?
There's a lot of things that I would say that I've learned. Can't say do differently. I'll do it by examples. It's usually a better way for me to tell a story of an example. The first time I ever lost money in a business was about $2 million that I invested into an intellectual property of a medical device. And I thought, slam dunk, man, this thing patented everything.
Yeah,
and,
no, I hear you.
and you know, it's going to do so well. And it costs 50 cents to make. We'll be able to sell it for $10. What kind of margins is that? We had the perfect product. But what I didn't understand is the people who make money is the people, he who owns the distribution channel owns it all, such as Amazon.
Yeah.
So that product, we could never put it into the hospitals, even though the doctors wanted it. And doctors said, yeah, absolutely. Well, we could spend $10 on that syringe. But the distributors who own the contracts with the hospital says, oh, yeah, we love it too. We're going to sell it for $10, but we're going to buy it from you for 51 cents.
Oh, man.
We thought we owned our technology. We did, but they wouldn't let it into the hospitals unless they made all the profits. So that should be a lesson to you guys. Understand who owns that distribution channel.
So, yo, man, so we just wrapped this up. I'm just curious, are you involved in a lot of charities? Is charity your thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, charity is not a thing, but it's part of our lives. And I'll tell you the type of charity that I really don't even think of it as charity is I want to use my talent to help sustainable models of charity. You know, you could spend $1 and you know, feel good sticking in a cup. That's good, people. If that's the minimum you can do, God bless you to do so. But then when we started looking at charity, we said, hey, if I use my talents and took $1 and was able to turn that to $100. That's what I want to do. So we started creating ideas of creating, you know, a fishing pole rather than handing them over a fish, so that they could actually do for themselves.
Right.
You know, look at Girl Scouts of America. Girl Scout cookies. You buy Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
You know, do they do $800 million a year every year?
It's $800 fucking million. Jesus.
That's sustainable.
Christ,
we can create more of these sustainable models for charity.
But what, does that money go only back into the Girl Scouts? Or does it go into more? Does it go?
You know, I don't know the numbers about. That's why I'm not involved with them, the transparencies. But we're taking the same models. I could make a $5 T-shirt or a $18 sweatshirt that's branded, sell it for $50 through the channels, send all the profits and the costs of goods out. We would still make more money for these charities that way than it would be just here. Can you do send me $1 or send me $10?
No, I get it.
And and I'm gonna tap into you. We're gonna do a Ben Baller drop with a charity.
That'd be dope, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So every time I ask anybody on the show, I said, "Is there a question you want to ask me before we get out of here?"
Ben Baller. No, you know what? The question is more than a question, is a statement. I think you're one of the, like I said earlier, you're one of the key people that we're going to all look for you to help us do great things for our society and our community. So focus on your local and your wider community. And you know, I expect as your older brother to do some great things for our community.
Oh, man, listen, I appreciate it, man. So, Dan, dude, thank you for coming by, man. I really appreciate your knowledge, your wisdom, especially because I respect you on the fact that, as I told you guys before, it's not that hard to make $1 million, but to keep it and make more is so much harder, man. So we're going to sign off for a second. And Miles, man, hit me with one of them Lakey beats, and we'll be back. So we're back, and you know, Dan is even though he's a billionaire, he's like a real chill dude, right? He's like, this dude is super humble dude, man. I don't give a fuck if he has $60-70 million in cars. It's just a tripped out weird dude, man. I don't know. He don't wear Versace. You know, he has a nice watch and shit. It just, when you see when you see him out in the street, you just wouldn't think of this motherfucker to ever have any kind of paper like that. He's just a cool ass dude, you know, rocking a polo and shit. And I don't ever feel poor around Dan. I just don't, you know. He's a billionaire. It just doesn't. That's just not the energy he pulls out there, and it's just crazy. But what he did say was true. I've been feeling this way a long time. There is a recession coming, and recessions always scare me. But you know, again, when you see me out there acting a fool with my paper, just know that I made 10 times that. That's always been my policy. Anybody who knows, man. You see me buy a car and I drop 300, 400 grand on it. Just know I made 3-4 million before I spent all the money on that car. Just don't spend unless it's, but it makes me want to find new ways to make money, but weed for the most part is recession proof, so is alcohol. It's been proven. Movies and video games were too, but I don't know, if that's the case now, but it's crazy, man. Liquor stores, they start doing better in business when the economy's down. It's crazy. But the biggest thing is I hate to see others struggle. I really do. I try to help people, but again, I always say this, I take care of my own first. If everyone took care of their own, you have less to worry about, I got to take care of my immediate responsibilities, no matter how much I have or whatever. Listen, be smart. Ask yourself, is it worth to stunt this Supreme or Louis Vuitton or Off-White or where the fuck or is it worth to stunt this BMW, whatever, Lamborghini Ghost or some shit on Instagram just because you want to go get some pussy? I have no idea, right? I come across a lot of pages of guys who have, they have like a Lamborghini, they have like a Huracan. And it'd be like an older model or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying like a 2016 Huracan. And they'll have like 500 pics on their profile, right? And 470 of them are of that car. It's the same fucking car. And I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I see people post, like jewelers. They post bust downs, the same shit. Cubans and bust downs. Like, bro, you don't get tired of that shit? And I'm just at a different place, man, in my life, And I guess, it's their page, so they can post what the fuck they want, right? But damn, man. And you know what? The dude with the Lambo probably worked his ass off to get that thing, and he's proud of it. But I just rarely post my cars anymore, I don't even think it motivates. I mean, I posted one this week because it was like just letting people know I'm promoting the show, and it was something special. A lot of people got a lot of opinions. Most of them opinions are just, opinions can be wrong. They're just false. They have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. But as far as like my cars in general, like I didn't really post a lot of them. I didn't post my McLarens, my last two. I just didn't post a lot of the other cars and some other Ferraris and shit that I had, and Lamborghini I didn't post at all. Some of my stories here and there. I don't think, I think it creates a lot of envy instead, especially on my page. People are just like, damn, they don't know about the 15 million hours that I put in at work, the grind. And I don't know. I don't want anybody envious of my life, it's crazy, especially because I got so much shit I got to deal with on a regular basis. But if you're curious, I am happy. I'm even very content of where I'm at right now in my life, but I got a little ways to go, which is fine. It's a little irritating to me. For somebody else, it'd be nothing. I got like I got a few thousand miles to go, right? Which ain't shit, but I've traveled 100 billion miles in my life so far. So this hard work is paying off. Or like Mike Tyson said, I should say, hard work is making me luckier and luckier. So, the more I hustle, the more luck will find its way to me. And before we get out of here, back to my army that I'm trying to build. I want to build. I need to figure out what it is that I'm going to sell, because I'm thinking of a product that I want to market and sell, and and I have an idea of of how many I need to get out there, how many I need to sell, and I got a bunch of other shit that's dropping that has nothing to do with this project itself. But like I said, I got a few ideas. It might take some months, hopefully not too long. Hopefully it doesn't take even a year. I'm just trying to figure this out. And then when I do, I'm going to hire a bunch of people. As far as requirements, listen, man, all you need to do is be able to multiply 100 times 100, all right? All you got to do is be over 21 and not talk about religion or politics, all right? I don't care about your past work experience or shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to have a drive to sell, know how to sell. I don't need anything else but that, You got to know how to sell, or you have to be able to learn how to fucking sell, all right? So I'm keeping the little intros and outros kind of short this time. I gave you motherfuckers 2.5, so that's shit. That should last y'all. There's gems. Go listen to that motherfucker a couple times. You might miss something, so you might have missed something. I'm off to Vegas tomorrow for my boy Paul's bachelor party. I'm going to be out there for a few days, man. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will report back with some sports talk, We got Seattle versus the injured Saints. Drew Brees is out, so we'll see, could be a 3-0. We'll see. I'll have the weekend wrap up for you on Monday of Sin City I know there's going to be all kinds of fuckery going on, man. I'm just praying to God that my washed body can handle it. And of course, I'm going to be talking a lot of shit. Oh yeah, I got a fucking amazing episode coming next week with my boy Kareem Biggs Burke, one of the co-founders of Rockefeller Records. Yes, Jay-Z, Rockefeller, Rockaware, you name it. Fucking amazing stories. Dude, this is such a legend, man. It's one of my super old homies, friends. And this shit validates so much when people on Nike talk like, oh, you wasn't affiliated with Rockefeller and blah, blah, whatever. And all these fucking dumbass, goofy, stupid, dumb motherfuckers. So anyways, we out. God bless. Shalom. Miles, please take us out of here with one of them Lakey Lakes.